True or false? Blood is thicker than water. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. I call these vampire kits. Back in 2017, I had some health challenges, and so I learned from a healthcare provider and a specialist that if you knew your blood type, you could do things and eat things and impact your diet, which therefore impacts your health by knowing your blood type. So I made all the people I love and care about, my mom's isn't here, but take a blood test, and we did this, what I called vampire testing. And everybody got tested to find out what blood type they were, because what I found out, and maybe it's better nowadays, but it's really, really hard to figure out what your blood type is unless you know it. Blood type is something that they test every time you go into the hospital or you have a procedure, because there's such bad ramifications if they make a mistake and they try to put the wrong blood in you. So it turns out my mom and my son-in-law and I are all A positive. My daughter, my son, and my mother-in-law are all B positive. So I thought that was interesting. My kids both take after their dad. I don't know what his blood type is, but that's interesting, because when I first found out about eating for your blood type, I went on this huge search, tried to call all my healthcare providers, tried to find it in my medical records. I'd had 2 kids. I'd been through a couple of surgeries and a lot of health challenges. I had literally boxes of medical records, none of which contained my blood type, which I thought was mind-boggling. Now everything's online, and maybe they keep better track of that, but I guess it's easy to make a mistake and accidentally put in the wrong blood type, and it's quick and easy to check and verify the blood type before you make a mistake. So that's why I have vampire kits. So my question for you, though, is our idiom today, our relationship-related idiom, is blood is thicker than water. I actually talked about this back in 2020, I think February 16th of 2020, but since I'm hanging with my granddaughter this week while my son and daughter were in Alaska, they just got back this morning, I didn't get time to go back and listen to that and research it. I don't usually go back and listen to my videos anyway. I guess it's a embarrassment thing. It's like I can't go watch myself talk about something, you know, a couple years ago even. It's so rough to listen to yourself talk about things. So blood is thicker than water. This is one of those idioms that dates back to the 12th century in German, and it showed up as a proverb in English in the 17th century. So in the 1600s, it's been around hundreds and hundreds of years. Now, we can look at this different ways, scientifically. And actually, the original version of this was blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. And that just became shortened to blood is thicker than water. Now, scientifically, I would contend blood is thicker than water, literally and figuratively. And if you did scientific tests, you would find out the density and the thickness and the weight, etc., is thicker. So how do I like to look at situations, any situation, not just business situations, but life situations? I actually look for real science, not some of the science like we've seen with COVID pandemic, but real, actual science, not misinformation. So I will say, what are the facts? What is known about this situation? Number 2, I look to my own experience, my own past experience, my own current experience, my own results that I've gotten in an area, previous, as well as what's presently going on and what I might estimate or think the future will look like. And then I decide, and I'm talking about now, bringing people into my business or doing business with family. I have got a mixed bag of experience and results and evidence that I can use to prove both true and false, that going into business with family, blood relatives, or friends or close acquaintances, but blood relatives is what we're talking about here, versus other people, it's a mixed bag. I've had and gained some of the best experience and had some of the best relationships and the best business results working with some members of the family and relatives, and I've also had some of my worst experiences, biggest nightmares, things I could never have even imagined happen from being in business with family members. So for me, the jury's still out as to whether I would, and it depends on the family member, it depends on their experience, it depends on the business venture, it depends on so many variables, just like anything else. If we're hiring for a position and we're bringing someone into our business that's a relative or not, we need to use the same criteria. My advice and my guidance, and I'm not a lawyer, but my guidance and my advice is to use the same criteria you would for bringing in another outside person. Now, they might get bonus points for their ability to get along in the relationship with you, but they also should come with the desire to work, the desire to learn the skills and abilities and to perform that you would expect from any other person, right? That you're bringing into your business. So treat them like any other business relationship and business deal that you, or business person that you would evaluate bringing into your company. My second one, and this would be legal advice, and it came directly from my lawyer, is get it in writing. Get it in writing, get it in writing, get it in writing. Sit down up front and establish what the relationship is going to be. And this is true for different people that you bring into your organization too. We have confidentiality agreements that we have people sign depending on the business that we're involved in before we disclose confidential information to them. The same should be true with whether they're a blood relative or not. So get it in writing, use contracts, sit down and share expectations up front. Be very clear and agree on what the relationship is going to be like. And it's just, I do that with everybody that I bring into my business, but I will especially do it with people that I'm in a close relationship with, that I'm related to. And finally, continuously communicate and give feedback to one another throughout the business relationship if you want to keep it strong and solid and not have a falling out. It doesn't mean you're not going to have a falling out. It can still happen. People change, things change. It's just like marriages. You get married. I don't think anyone gets married thinking that they're going to get divorced. I don't think anyone goes into a business relationship thinking that it's not going to work out. Yet, just like marriages, I would say at least half or more of business relationships don't work out. So we prepare ahead of time for that. People have prenups. People have contracts for their businesses. So love to know your experience with this particular idiom, blood is thicker than water. Have you been in business with family before? Like I said, I've had some great ones and I've had some really, really sad, pathetic experiences that I would never wish on my worst enemy. So share in the comments below, do you think it's true or false that blood is thicker than water, that you should bring people that are close to you? I believe in helping people that I love and care about and bringing them along whenever possible in the things that I'm doing and helping them to grow and build and supersize their businesses. So I might not be the best person to talk and advise on this, but I do have a lot of experience in it. All right, any questions? Have an awesome day. If I can help you, ask. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow.